Hi everyone! Welcome to the channel Speak English with Animal Stories. We're really happy you're here today. Before we start, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps the channel grow. And I'm curious, where are you listening from? Tell us your country in the comments. It's always amazing to see how far these stories travel.
All right, let's begin. Today's story starts on what should have been the happiest day of a young woman's life. Her name was Emma, and it was her wedding day.
The church was full of people. Friends, family, and loved ones were all sitting quietly, waiting for the beautiful moment when Emma would walk down the aisle toward the man she loved. Everything looked perfect. The flowers were arranged neatly, soft music filled the room. It felt like something straight out of a fairy tale.
But then, something very unexpected happened.
Just as Emma was about to take her first step down the aisle, a large German shepherd suddenly appeared in front of her. The dog stepped directly into the aisle and blocked her path.
This wasn't just any dog. It was Shadow, Emma's loyal police canine partner.
Shadow had worked beside Emma for years. He was trained, disciplined, and extremely loyal. But right now, he looked very different from the calm, professional dog everyone knew.
He stood stiff and alert. His eyes were locked on Emma. His muscles were tight, and he refused to move.
Guests in the church gasped in surprise. Some people even stood up from their seats. No one understood what was happening. Was this part of the ceremony, or was something going wrong?
Emma looked down at Shadow, confused. She softly called his name.
"Shadow, it's okay," she whispered.
But instead of relaxing, Shadow let out a low growl. It was quiet, but it was serious. Emma had never heard him make that sound toward her before.
People began whispering to each other. Is the dog attacking the bride? What is happening? Why won't he let her walk? Emma felt her heart start beating faster. Something about Shadow's behavior felt very strange. This wasn't how he usually acted.
Then Emma looked carefully into Shadow's eyes.
And suddenly, she understood something important.
She didn't see anger in his eyes.
She saw fear.
She saw urgency.
And even desperation.
At that moment, Emma realized this was not just a dog interrupting a wedding.
Shadow was trying to warn her.
But warn her about what?
What could possibly be so serious that her trained police dog would stop her wedding in front of everyone?
Emma felt a cold chill run down her spine. If Shadow was acting like this, there had to be a reason.
And whatever that reason was, it had the power to destroy everything she believed about this day.
But to understand why Shadow acted this way, we need to go back a few hours earlier, back to the quiet morning before the wedding began.
The morning sun filled Emma's bedroom with warm golden light. She stood in front of the mirror, her hands trembling slightly with excitement.
Today was finally the day she had been dreaming about.
Her beautiful white wedding dress hung nearby, glowing softly in the sunlight. It almost felt alive, moving gently as the light touched the fabric.
Around her, the room was full of happy energy. Her bridesmaids laughed and talked as they helped her get ready.
One friend fixed Emma's curls. Another adjusted the flowers in her hair. Someone else teased her gently about finally getting her fairy tale ending.
The air smelled of perfume, flowers, and excitement. Everything seemed perfect.
But in the corner of the room, someone was watching very carefully.
Shadow.
Emma's loyal canine partner sat quietly on the floor.
Normally, Shadow was calm and steady. Nothing surprised him. But today, something was different.
His ears twitched at every small sound.
His eyes moved constantly around the room.
His breathing was faster than usual.
It was almost as if Shadow sensed something that no one else could see. So let's continue the story. Earlier that morning, inside Emma's bedroom, everything looked joyful and calm. Her friends were laughing, helping her get ready, and the room was full of excitement.
But one member of the room was not relaxed at all. Shadow.
Emma noticed that something about him felt different. His breathing was heavier than usual, not loud, not aggressive, just heavier, almost like he was under pressure.
And the strange thing was, he wasn't whining or running around.
He wasn't barking either.
Exactly. He just sat there quietly in the corner.
But Emma could feel the tension in him, like a bow pulled back and ready to release an arrow.
Emma walked slowly toward him and called his name.
Shadow, she said softly.
Normally, Shadow would simply lift his head and calmly acknowledge her like a well-trained police dog always does.
But today, the reaction was completely different.
The moment he heard her voice, Shadow stood up instantly.
His body became stiff and alert. His eyes locked onto Emma as if he was trying to tell her something.
Something important.
Something urgent.
Emma gave a small, nervous smile and tried to make a joke.
You're acting like you're the one getting married today, she laughed.
The bridesmaids in the room chuckled at the joke.
But Shadow didn't react at all.
His tail didn't wag.
His body didn't relax.
He simply stared at Emma with intense focus.
Meanwhile, the room continued buzzing with activity. Makeup artists were finishing the final touches. Photographers were taking bright, happy pre-wedding pictures.
Everything looked beautiful in the photos.
But inside Emma's heart, a strange feeling was slowly growing.
Because she knew Shadow very well.
They had worked together on the police force for years.
And Shadow had saved her life more than once.
There had been a time when he detected hidden explosives that Emma hadn't noticed.
Another time, he sensed danger before anyone else did.
That's why Emma trusted him completely.
But this was her wedding day, a happy day, a peaceful day.
There was no mission, no criminals, no danger. At least, that's what everyone believed.
Then suddenly, the door opened.
Emma's mother walked into the room. Her eyes were full of tears, the kind of emotional tears parents have when they see their child getting married.
She wiped her eyes gently with her sleeve and walked toward Emma.
But before she could reach her daughter, Shadow moved quickly.
He stepped directly between them.
His body blocked Emma completely.
The room instantly went silent.
The bridesmaids looked at each other with confusion.
Emma's mother stopped walking.
Emma, why is he doing that? She whispered nervously.
Emma looked down at Shadow and gently stroked his head.
I don't know, she admitted quietly. He's been acting strange all morning.
Under her hand, Shadow's fur felt stiff.
His muscles were tight, almost like solid stone.
He refused to let Emma's mother come any closer.
Finally, Emma gave him a firm command.
Shadow obeyed, but very reluctantly.
He stepped back only 2 small steps.
And even then, his eyes never left Emma.
Not for a single second.
As the morning continued, Shadow's strange behavior only became stronger.
He stayed right next to Emma the entire time.
Watching every person,
Every movement.
every door that opened.
Emma tried to convince herself it was nothing.
Maybe it was just excitement.
Maybe the noise and chaos of a wedding day were making him nervous.
But deep inside her chest, a quiet uneasiness began to grow.
Because Emma knew something important about Shadow.
He was not an overprotective dog.
He never reacted without a reason.
If Shadow was acting like this,
Then he wasn't just being protective.
he was trying to warn her about something.
Let's continue the story. Emma tried her best to focus on the happy parts of her wedding morning. The beautiful dress, the fresh flowers, and the excitement filling the room.
But there was one problem. Shadow wouldn't let her relax.
Every time Emma moved, Shadow moved with her.
When she stood up to walk toward the window, he immediately followed.
Not just followed, he stayed extremely close. His shoulder pressed gently against her leg, almost like he was trying to keep her in one place.
Emma looked down at him and spoke softly.
Shadow, sweetheart, I'm okay.
But deep down, Emma could tell something.
Shadow didn't believe her. His ears stayed perked up. His nose kept twitching as he sniffed the air again and again, almost like he was collecting hundreds of different smells around the room.
And whenever someone entered the room, his reaction was immediate.
A bridesmaid would walk in, and Shadow would quickly move between Emma and the door.
Then he would carefully watch the person with sharp, intelligent eyes.
Even people he already knew made him tense.
One bridesmaid noticed the strange behavior. She was holding a bunch of white roses and looked a little worried.
Is he nervous? She asked quietly.
Emma forced a small smile.
He's never like this, she said. He's the calmest dog on the force.
She wanted her words to sound reassuring.
But they didn't feel convincing, even to her.
Emma knew Shadow's history. She had seen him face dangerous criminals without fear.
She had watched him walk through chaotic crime scenes full of noise and confusion, and he never once showed panic.
Yet now, on a peaceful morning filled with perfume, laughter, and wedding excitement,
Shadow was acting as if danger was hiding in every corner.
then suddenly,
Knock, knock.
a soft knock came from the door.
Shadow's head snapped toward the sound instantly.
His ears became stiff, his muscles tightened again, and a low growl slowly came from his throat.
The sound was so serious that the entire room went silent.
One bridesmaid whispered nervously.
It's probably just the florist.
She carefully walked towards the door.
But before she could even touch the handle, Shadow rushed forward.
He planted himself directly between Emma and the door.
His growl grew deeper now.
It wasn't loud, but it carried a clear message,
A warning.
a command.
And pure protection. Shadow, Emma said sharply.
The dog froze instantly. His training was strong. He waited for her next move.
Emma took a deep breath and slowly stepped around him.
Her heart was beating faster now.
She reached for the door handle and opened it slightly.
Standing outside was the florist, holding a box of flowers and looking a little confused.
Everything okay? The florist asked. Yes, Emma replied quickly, though her voice wasn't as steady as she wanted it to be.
Behind her, Shadow was still alert.
He sniffed the air again, carefully.
His tail was stiff.
His body looked as solid as a statue.
Emma gently reached down and placed her hand on his head.
She tried to calm him with soft strokes.
But even then, Shadow didn't relax.
Because whatever he was sensing,
It still hadn't gone away.
Emma gently tried to pull Shadow back from the door. She held his collar and gave a soft tug.
But Shadow didn't move easily. His eyes were still locked on the hallway outside, as if he expected someone or something to appear at any second.
One of the bridesmaids tried to explain the situation. Emma, maybe he just senses stress, she suggested softly.
Emma nodded slightly, but deep inside, she knew that wasn't the truth.
Shadow wasn't reacting to stress.
He was reacting to something real,
Something present.
something he clearly wanted Emma to understand.
Emma slowly closed the door and turned back toward the room.
At that moment, Shadow pressed his head gently into her palm.
At first, it looked like a simple gesture of affection.
But Emma knew Shadow better than anyone.
This wasn't affection.
It was reassurance.
Almost like he was silently saying, stay close, be careful, something isn't right.
A few hours later, late in the morning, guests began arriving at the church.
Emma peeked through the window and watched as cars pulled up one after another.
Each car carried familiar faces, friends, relatives, people smiling and congratulating one another.
From the outside, everything looked perfect.
Inside the bridal room, the bridesmaids were busy again.
They adjusted Emma's veil, checked the flowers, and fixed the final details of her dress.
The room was full of excitement and happy energy.
Everything seemed exactly the way a wedding morning should be.
Everything except Shadow.
Instead of relaxing, his tension had grown even stronger.
His eyes moved constantly, watching every person who entered the room.
Then the door opened again.
Emma's future mother-in-law stepped inside.
The moment she entered, Shadow reacted instantly.
He stepped forward and placed himself directly in front of Emma.
His posture was controlled but clearly defensive.
His eyes fixed on the woman carefully, as if he didn't trust what he was seeing.
Oh, the woman gasped, placing a hand on her chest. Why is he acting like that? She asked nervously. He looks ready to attack.
Emma quickly shook her head.
He's not attacking, she explained. He's just very alert today.
But her explanation didn't make the woman feel any better,
She watched Shadow with clear discomfort.
and she clutched her purse tightly, almost like she was protecting it.
A few moments later, another person entered the room.
It was the groom's brother, Daniel.
Daniel walked in casually, holding a small black box in his hand.
But the moment Shadow saw him, his reaction became even stronger.
His ears flattened.
His growl became deeper and more serious.
Then Shadow stepped forward again, firmly blocking Daniel from coming any closer to Emma.
Daniel immediately stopped walking.
"Whoa," he said, taking a step back. "What's his problem?"
His voice sounded irritated now.
"Someone should remove that dog," Daniel snapped. "He's unpredictable."
Emma felt her stomach tighten.
Because she knew something important.
Shadow was many things.
Loyal,
Protective.
highly trained,
But one thing he was definitely not.
was unpredictable. Emma took a deep breath and gave Shadow a clear command.
Shadow. Back.
The dog obeyed, just like he was trained to do, but this time he moved slowly, step by step, almost unwillingly.
And even while stepping back, his eyes never left Daniel.
Daniel's face tightened with irritation.
You can't have that dog ruining the ceremony, he said sharply. If he's aggressive, someone could get hurt.
Emma shook her head quickly.
He won't hurt anyone, she replied.
But as she said the words, a small doubt appeared inside her mind.
She looked carefully at Daniel.
Something about him seemed strange,
He looked uneasy
a little sweaty.
and restless.
His fingers kept tapping the small black box he was holding, as if he couldn't keep them still.
When Daniel noticed Emma watching him, he quickly forced a stiff smile.
"Just wetting nerves," he said quickly.
The strange part was, Emma hadn't even asked.
But Shadow clearly didn't believe him.
Not even for a second.
As Daniel turned and walked out of the room, Shadow immediately moved toward the door.
He lowered his nose and sniffed the air carefully.
Then he made a quiet sound.
A soft whine,
The moment Emma heard it, her heart skipped a beat.
because she recognized that sound
She had only heard it once before,
during a dangerous police operation.
right before Shadow discovered hidden explosives.
The room suddenly felt colder.
One of the bridesmaids looked at Emma nervously.
Emma, that's his alert signal, right? She whispered.
Emma swallowed hard before answering.
Yes, but that was a long time ago, she said. Maybe he's just confused.
But even as she spoke, she knew the truth.
She didn't believe her own explanation.
Not completely.
A few minutes later, there was another knock at the door.
This time, it was the groom.
He smiled warmly as he opened the door slightly.
"I just wanted to check if you're ready," he said.
But before Emma could answer, Shadow stepped forward again.
He planted himself directly in front of her.
A deep, quiet growl vibrated from his chest.
It was so low that it almost felt like a vibration in the air.
The groom immediately stopped moving.
His eyes widened in surprise.
Emma, what's wrong with your dog? He asked.
Emma looked down at Shadow, her voice barely above a whisper.
I don't know.
But deep inside, she did know one thing.
Shadow wasn't reacting to nothing.
He was reacting to someone.
Soon after, the church hall began filling with soft music and quiet conversations.
Guests were taking their seats.
Bridesmaids hurried down the hallway to take their places for the ceremony.
Emma took one last deep breath, trying to calm herself.
She told herself that everything would be fine.
This was her wedding day.
Nothing bad could possibly happen.
But the moment Emma stepped into the church foyer,
Shadow suddenly stiffened.
so abruptly that Emma almost stumbled.
Shadow, easy, she whispered, gripping his collar gently.
But Shadow wasn't looking at her.
His nose was pointed toward a small table nearby.
And whatever he was sensing there,
Made his entire body tense with warning.
Emma followed Shadow's gaze and looked across the church foyer.
His nose was pointing directly at a small table where guests had started placing wedding gifts.
On the table sat a newly delivered package.
It was wrapped in shiny silver paper with a beautiful white ribbon tied neatly on top.
To everyone else, it looked like a normal wedding present.
But to Shadow, something was very wrong.
A deep growl rolled out of his chest.
Low and heavy, like distant thunder under the ground.
Emma suddenly felt goosebumps spread across her arms.
She turned toward the usher standing nearby.
Whose gift is that? She asked.
The usher shrugged casually.
It just arrived a minute ago.
He said, "A delivery guy brought it. He said it was for the bride."
Emma frowned. From me? From who?
The usher shook his head.
There wasn't a card.
Then he added with a small smile, "But surprise gifts happen at weddings all the time."
Shadow clearly disagreed.
Suddenly, he lunged toward the table,
Not to attack anyone.
but to stop Emma from getting closer.
His teeth showed slightly as he planted his paws firmly on the floor.
His nails scraped loudly against the tiles as he dug in, refusing to let Emma move forward.
Guests nearby started turning their heads.
Whispers quickly spread through the foyer.
What's wrong with that dog? Why is he acting like that? Is something dangerous?
Emma's heartbeat pounded in her ears.
Shadow, enough, she said firmly, trying to stay calm.
But Shadow didn't move.
His tail stayed stiff.
Every muscle in his body was locked with tension.
And his eyes never left the silver-wrapped box.
Just then, someone hurried over after hearing the commotion.
It was Daniel, the groom's brother.
The moment he arrived, his eyes quickly moved from Shadow to the gift and then back again.
His reaction was fast.
Too fast.
For a split second, he looked shocked.
Then he quickly forced a casual expression.
It's just a present, Daniel said with a shrug.
Dogs sometimes act weird around new objects.
But Shadow's growl only became deeper.
The usher stepped forward again, reaching toward the gift.
Maybe I'll just move it somewhere else, he said.
But the moment his hand got close to the box,
Shadow exploded into a loud bark.
the sharp sound echoed through the entire hall.
Everyone froze.
The usher jumped back in shock, his face turning pale.
What the? Your dog is out of control, he said nervously.
Emma grabbed Shadow's collar tightly
Her hands were shaking now.
because she suddenly realized something important.
This wasn't just Shadow being protective.
This was an alert.
A precise, trained alert.
It was the exact same posture and barking pattern Shadow used during police missions when he detected dangerous items.
Emma slowly turned her head toward Daniel.
Her eyes narrowed slightly.
Why did you react like that? She asked quietly.
For a moment,
Daniel froze. Daniel quickly tried to defend himself.
"React like what?" he said. "I didn't react."
But Shadow didn't move his eyes from Daniel.
The dog stared at him with a sharp, unwavering glare.
Emma gently pulled Shadow back, trying to calm the situation.
But inside her mind, questions were spinning rapidly.
If Shadow sensed something dangerous inside that gift, then someone had sent it on purpose.
And if that was true, it meant something even more disturbing.
Someone didn't want this wedding to happen.
And they were sending a message before Emma could even walk down the aisle.